Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to this videos. Welcome back to your digital project management journey. And I hope that you've learned quite a number of things. Like I told you earlier, projects are about people. So this is a place we're gonna start. So projects are about people, all right. Tools don't deliver projects, people do. You see, at the heart of every successful project manager is um, a project manager that knows how to empower, facilitate, and motivate his team members. Okay, because you are collaborating day by day, you cannot do everything. Okay, I think that's a very big example, a mistake that a lot of project managers make. You think that you can do a lot of things, right? You jump at this, you jump at that, you jump at that, you jump at this. All right. It never works for anybody. Okay. It really never works for anybody. So I want you to really take note of that. It never works for anybody. So we're just gonna get into it. So now, how do we manage these projects? Okay. How do we manage this project? You've learned about projects, right? So how then do we manage projects? So think about this video as the project management approach or the project management fundamentals. Okay, so let's go. Waterfall, right? This is one of the most popular project management methodologies. So the first one we're going to be looking at is waterfall, and this is the construction mindset. So think about it, that you want to, so at the end of the day, it's really about you looking at the projects you want to build, then sitting down to build them. Okay, so you sit down to say, I want to build this project. This is what I want to achieve. We're going to talk about the project charter very soon. This is what this project is meant to achieve, and this is the approach I'm going to take. So for a construction project, you most likely will use waterfall. Do you see? Waterfall pretty much means waterfall. Think about it. Waterfall. So you start from the top and you run it down. Do you get it? That's pretty much it. Okay. Nothing else, nothing more dramatic than that. Waterfall, just going all the way. Okay. So that's waterfall. So first thing is you have the requirements, right? Define everything up front. I want to build a house, a 7-story building. I want it to have only staircase. I want people that live in my house to be very fit. Okay. Design. So give the architect a design plan and architecture based on all these requirements. I want 3 windows per room so that we're not going to use air conditioners. We're going to save the environment. We're going to use only solar panel devices, solar panels. Yeah, solar powered. It's going to be a solar powered house. So we have solar panel on the top of the building and all of that. You see. Then what next? We build. So that building phase most likely would then mean, okay, what are we building first? What are we building next? What are we building? So we build that. Then test. Do you get? So you rigorously check for defects. Now, one thing you need to know here is that the waterfall approach is mostly predictable. All right, it's structured and it's rigid. Okay, so it's best for projects where requirements are unlikely to change. So because think about it, let's say you're building a house, right? And exactly like the house we're currently building, I have said that I want to build a house that has staircases and all of that. Then let's say my wife says that, oh, I want us to have a state of the art elevator in the building. I'm like, that would actually not be bad. Why was I thinking that people should be fit by force by fire, So I go to tell the developer that, hey chief, I want you to put this thing in my house. Think about it, I'm the project owner now. The developers are people that are building it. So I want you to put this thing by force by fire. Okay. Is it possible? I mean, you've seen projects, right? You've seen housing projects. You see the way um, you see the way elevators or lifts are installed in buildings. They are installed in strategic locations such that if you get to a particular floor, let's say the fourth floor, it's supposed to take you to a point where you can access a couple of places or access your door, right? So maybe you may want to let it terminate at your particular bedroom or something. So, but if bringing a lift was an afterthought. I mean, I've seen projects like that where a lift was an afterthought, and you clearly would know that this thing was not well planned, or it was an afterthought because everything has been blocked already. So it's either they then drill a particular hole, I mean a square hole all the way down, or they put it at the edge of the building, that's outside the building. Like outside the building so that there's space for it. Then that what that means is that anyone that uses the lift to then still have to walk a lot into to access where they are going. I don't know if you guys picture what I'm trying to explain. I'm just trying to spend time so you can really understand what's going on here. It's really important, really, 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 really important that for every project that you get to manage, you know what you're trying to do clearly. You gather requirements from your stakeholders. We're going to talk about stakeholders eventually. You got all the requirements that you need there before you start to build. Okay. So that's very important to save you a lot of stress so that different people will not drag your project. Now there's agile, right? Agile is a more, it's not recent. I mean, it started in 2001, where a group of people came together to say that there needs to be a different approach to building. There are things that we really cannot build, that we cannot build with a waterfall approach in mind. Okay, I'm sure you guys have heard agile a lot, so you can think about it as a chef approach. So chef, you're cooking a very good soup. I know that there are quite a lot of people here, but think about it. You're making egusi soup, right? You know that thick egusi and dry one that Ekiti people like to eat with pounded yam and stuff. I'm from Ekiti, by the way. So, um, think about it that yeah, you've added salt, you've added Maggi, all right? That's seasoning. Yeah, I'm a Nigerian. That's why we call seasoning Maggi. Judge me if you like. So you've added seasoning to it, all right? Then you leave it. So I've added it. It's perfect. I'm very wise. I'm the best chef in the world. So I've added it and it's perfect. Then you serve it. People say, bro, your cooking, it can destroy somebody's intestine. Oh, that's because you added too much salt. Now, the agile approach would say that you build it, that you cook the soup, you review it. Do you see? You review it, then you gather feedback. So that means you either test it, you give somebody to taste for you. Then what you do is you repeat and you build again. Do you see? So that's the way it works. So you go from planning to building to review to repeat so you repeat that cycle again. That's pretty much it. So until you achieve a perfect product, right? The cooking example is not really a perfect example for agile, and I'm going to give you a perfect example. A perfect example is the WhatsApp application on your phone. So the WhatsApp application, at some point, let's say 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, or 5 years ago, you downloaded it, right? Do you see? So you downloaded it on your phone, but over the time, let's say you downloaded it 2 years ago, for example, I'm sure you've gotten at least 10 updates on your application. That is the review part. So on the developers end in Meta Technologies, right? What they are doing is this. Do you see? So they've built it, they've pushed it. Now, the goal here is to be flexible, to be iterative. Iterative is to keep iterative. Iterative means to keep running in cycles, right, until we achieve a particular outcome. That's how agile works. So you keep iterating. Okay, we've done this, it looks nice, let's give them. Let's not finish it. You see, this is different for, you cannot really do this for construction. I mean, I know people do that for construction, but yeah, it doesn't really make sense. So let's say for construction, let me do agile. You say, I want to build a 3-story building, all right? But I build a single room, right? Okay, I want to build a 3-story building that is going to house about 15 people, right? Yeah, in the 3-story building, there will be a restaurant, there will be a group large dinner area. So think about it that this is what's going to happen when I build a single room and say, come and use it, because I'm trying to use Agile. You know, Agile is build a version 1.0 and push it to customers, gather their feedback, improve it, and build again version 1.1, 1.2. Sometimes if you see a major update, then we go to version 2.0. Do you see? Okay, so what agile in construction would look like it to be, I'll build a room, then I'll put 15 people there. Or I build a room and I say, oh, this room, oh, we cannot contain 10, 15 people, let's put 10 people. Do you get? It doesn't really make sense because at the end of the goal of the project is not achieved, right? You can't you can't use agile for construction. Some people argue otherwise, but I don't think it makes sense. Okay, so build, review, repeat, plan. Okay, so plan, build, review, repeat. Plan, build, review, repeat. Plan, build, review, repeat. That's agile. Okay, as I do for projects with evolving requirements. So think about it that, let me check my Instagram. I think maybe 2 years ago, I don't think that there was a need for I'm trying to look at a feature that was here that was okay. Yeah, if you notice on Instagram, prior to now, the message icon, that arrow used to be the 5th icon, all right, but now it's the 3rd icon. That's the one in the middle. You see, so things like that, changing. All right, so I hope you get that, all right, but if not, you eventually get it. So waterfall and agile, I've talked about this already. So agile is learn as you go. So you deploy a feature. Deployment is pushing to customers, so pushing to production or pushing to customers use. So you deploy a feature, you see how customers are using it. You see, I want to believe that this feature I just talked about, where message is in the middle, is based on a feedback. Either they saw their analytics and they discovered that a lot of people use it more often than they use their profile. You know, profile, I think profile is to be in the middle. So what they've done is, okay, let's make it easier. Let's make it closer to you guys. Do you get? Let's make it closer to you guys. So most likely because of feedback. So it's a learn as you go approach, iterative circles, constant collaboration with customers, with different people. Okay. So unlike waterfall, plan everything first, linear progression, less customer interaction. So I'm seeing that some of you guys may already be thinking of this, right? You may already be thinking of this, that, okay, where does this leave my project? Or you are thinking of some projects that could use both of them, right? There's something then that we call hybrid, okay? But I'm going to talk about this in one of the videos very shortly, okay? But thank you very much. We'll continue this in the next video.